Minnie, my sweetheart, right there. There she is.
Hold up. Hey. Oh, my be thinking we.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Hey. I know everyone's excited for another Park Hopping live stream. Woo!
Yay.
And that last scream was for Zero.
Whoa.
Before we even started, like 10 minutes in, he said, yeah! Love that last part. She's like, what? What's up, everybody? Good to see you. I just got back from Washington, D.C. What a freaking trip that was. But I'll talk about it on my live stream another day. Today, it's all about theme parks, crazy people at theme parks, and much, much more.
Park talking. Yeah.
I mean, it is just, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens that we're finding out. For I don't even know where to begin. There's so much stuff. Let's do maybe a couple of positive things, but before we get into that, Vash, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us again over there from that park place.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on, Jay. And I saw that you were in Washington, D.C. That must have been super, super cool. Very excited that you got to see the nation's capital. That's awesome. And I am so happy to be here back on with Krista and Jay. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, we love having you on here. Just consider yourself a permanent resident. Is that how you say it? However. Yes. And I love when I'm able to come on that park place, which will be on T3PO will be tomorrow, correct?
Yes, absolutely. T3PO tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, a lot of P's in there, right?
A lot of P's.
And welcome back to the channel for the first time, Krista Nova.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. My first time. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Turn your mic down. Anyway, just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Look at everybody here in the chat. We almost have 100 people. People are saying hi to Krista.
Hi.
People saying hi to all three of us. Keenan finally says hi to me.
Hi, Keenan.
Wow. I got a hey Jay. I got a J in there. That's pretty good. Appreciate it. Krista Joseph, Jay tripped President Trump and got away with it. Wow. Now, where did you hear such rumors? Anything like that? I didn't even get to see him. That's how it is. Stealing of history with a member message says, so proud of you all. Be blessed, Jay. Get Krista candy.
Thank you.
She's had too much candy. She just had her birthday not too long ago.
That's right. Her birthday passed.
So she had a lot of candy. Michael says, forget Jay. I'm here for Kristen Vash.
Hey.
It's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's all good. I don't know who this is for, but it says, who loves you, baby? That's where we are. That's where we are. You know what? Speaking of love, we're just going to go right. Just going to go right into, we talked a little bit about this if you missed it on Geeks and Gamers Daily, and we've got a video that will be dropping soon enough. Oh, speaking of love, Ivan made it. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
The love man.
Like,
Ivan.
Came from our little road trip. Made it on time, sort of.
Hi.
you're 5 minutes late.
Uh,
Anyway, this is not about Ivan. Florida man grabs guest by the neck after mistaking that he was cut in line for a Walt Disney World bus. This is a crazy. Hold on, let me pull up the article. This is a crazy story that I just wanted to just to go through. I need an ad blocker, but I don't have one. Yeah, so Florida man grabs guest by the neck after mistakes that he was cut in line for a Walt Disney World bus. Now let me break this down on how this worked. So apparently, a family was getting off of a bus, and they realized they were at the wrong stop. So the bus driver, and I think that's Ivan, got me on speaker. So the bus driver says, "Get back on the bus. Your stop is like three more stops, right?" While they're getting back on the bus, a person from Brazil who doesn't speak English thought the man was cutting in line, right? So he then attacks the guy
Oh my gosh.
for thinking cutting in line, not understanding the English that's going on. Later, Disney police show up, who speaks Portuguese. Maybe it was Dan Vass's relative. I don't know. And explain him what happened. And in the article itself, it says the man felt embarrassed that he did such a thing, but he was arrested.
Yeah.
Probably was kicked off Disney property. Disney's pretty strict. Once you get arrested, you're done. So yeah, Leonardo, 47 of Winter Garden, forcibly grabbed the victim by the back of the neck, yanked him backwards at Disney's Yacht Club Resort, according to a recent released Orange County Sheriff arrest report. The victim was getting off the bus bound for Disney Springs, but then realized he was on the wrong stop at the hotel. The bus driver told him and his family to get back on the bus, which angered, I don't know how to say that guy's name, so we're just going to call him Leonardo, who had been waiting to board and thought the victim was skipping the line. The bus driver saw the attack unfold and reported seeing Leonardo begin to yell and then swung a closed fist at the victim's neck, then grabbed him from the back of the neck and yanked him backwards. The victim said he felt ashamed, nervous, embarrassed after the incident. Leonardo, who's Brazilian native, speaks only Portuguese. He admitted to grabbing the back of the victim's jacket, but denied grabbing his neck. He told a Disney security guard who acted as a translator, according to the arrest report. Disney World firefighters were called to evaluate the victim, and Leonardo was taken to jail. He was charged with a misdemeanor battery. Late February, he took a plea deal where he pleaded no contest and was sentenced to 2 days in jail with credit for the 2 days he had already served. And he was ordered to pay $474 in fines and court costs. The public defender who represented him declined to comment for this story.
That's crazy.
Was that you, Ivan? Did you get that mad that you...
Well, there you go. You caught me. But I was just, Disney adult.
I just like, could you imagine like you're trying to get to Disney Springs and you walk off the bus and then you just walk right back on and a guy thinks you're cutting, like, because he's waited that so long that he just starts swinging on you and pulling out, like,
Yeah,
what did he think was going to happen? Like what in the world did he think was going to happen? Like everyone was going to like take his side, even if the guy was cutting. Do you not know not to assault people?
Yeah, it's not that serious. My gosh.
Right. I mean, the complexities attached to a modern Walt Disney World vacation, I think, are upping the stress level. Obviously, the price certainly is, and when you combine a couple of those factors, maybe the heat, or maybe stresses related to family and so forth. When you combine all of that, it creates a witch's brew of bad things, and sometimes this is what emanates from that. It's really unfortunate, but we have seen an increase in occurrences, high-profile occurrences like this one at Disney parks, which is very concerning, and it affects both resorts actually.
Yeah, I just don't see what like their end game is, like getting mad in the park, fighting in the park. Basically, what happens is you just get banned for life. You're not able to return. You will get arrested, but you don't hear many of these stories coming out of Universal that much.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, it's true. All these Disney adults, there's something in the water over there. Maybe the popcorn.
Yeah, but I think Vash also hit a good point because Disney has made it so complicated with the app usage, reservations for almost everything, and it's guests are just, they feel overwhelmed. You gotta like you gotta have a lot of tolerance in order to be able to be the planner for the family, or
Yeah.
friends. You gotta have a lot of tolerance for that, and that sort of thing.
What
Like
have you guys ridden these bus transportations before?
Yes.
Sometimes you're waiting like 2 to 3 hours for that bus to if it's a busy day.
Yeah, you're
There are
right.
people reporting like to get back. Like the reason why it's not that you're waiting. So basically, what would happen is on a crazy day when everyone's leaving, like let's just say the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, when they're done, people are waiting an hour just to get on the monorail to go to their car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's how crazy it is after the Magic Kingdom fireworks. Forget it if you want to ride the ferry boat. Well, that's why we tell people over and over, do your best to park at a resort and take like the little small boats. Like if you're going to stay that late at Magic Kingdom, it is worth it paying for valet than dealing with that. The buses are also packed. It's depending on what resorts, and people wait in long lines to get on a bus. So it's not like the bus, like you're waiting on one bus to show up. It's like they got to load up and then they leave. Then they come back and load up again, and you're still in the back of the line. So then you're crammed into these buses after a long day, like you said. So I guess they pretty much some people just.
I think the bus limitation has also been exacerbated by the fact that Disney has, they've had problems hiring and retaining bus drivers. They've cut back on bus routes over the past, I would say, 2 decades or so, right? And so they used to come every about 15 minutes or so. Now it's definitely demand-based. So maybe in the mornings they come every 15 minutes, but during the middle of the day they might not. Some locations get more service and traction than others. So Disney Springs, I can see waiting a long time. Maybe they felt that, all these things culminated, and you saw the outburst right there, which is really, really unfortunate. It's not necessarily Disney's fault that this person actually did this, of course, but Disney plays a role, let's say.
Thanks, Cam, man. And I see Wicked Virtue in the chat. Hello. That's the if people don't realize, if you want to hack where you don't want to pay $30 to park, sometimes people park at Disney Springs and then get on a bus and take it to the theme park where they don't have to pay that extra $30 to park in the parking lot. But it is a long bus ride, and sometimes it's extra stops. But Boss just showed us something else too that maybe you might have to go and what happened here? Florida man tries to fight woman in a wheelchair at Epcot. What the heck is happening over there at Disney?
It's always when Jay and I aren't there. We missed it.
I know. What the heck? I never see it. When I'm there, it's a happy-go-lucky day. What the heck?
I've been in front of a fight at Disneyland during Fantasmic. It was the first night, and it was like 5 guys, and then security came in.
Dang.
Never saw it.
You didn't film it, Ivan?
Somebody got it. I was just like, what's going on?
I think I remember that one, Ivan. That was a
while ago.
Jay would have been there with his camera out.
Oh, no, right in the middle. Right in the middle. I almost filmed a fight at Universal. I could see it brewing. Mm-hmm. It was right around Men in Black area. And I could see these 2 people bumped into each other. And one person got loud, then the next person got loud. And I was like, oh, here we go. So I took my phone out and I was ready. And they were getting in each other's face. And the police just came out of, like, not the Universal police, like the police came out of nowhere.
Wow.
And just separated and pushed everyone out of the way. Like, all right, just keep going. Like, keep it moving. Like, whatever. And that was.
They have it handled over there, unlike Disney.
It was done before it got started. And then they brought the parties over to the side. And I guess they talked through them. And that was the end of it. So.
Disney does not like armed police on property.
They do not.
At all. Because from what I've been told is, well, if some incident breaks out in which involves a police and a subsequent police report, then that can be FOIA'd, and they don't like that over there at the.
Do you know about this story?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was kind of reading through it here, and apparently there seemed to be an altercation near the land pavilion of some kind. This article suggests that they were, that the parties were inebriated in some respect right there. I guess it would have to be if you're gonna actually try to fight a woman in a wheelchair. What kind of POS does that? But yeah, apparently there was an altercation about something or another. Disney cast or security gets involved and looks and seeks to escort them both out. That's when a couple of the parties from each side decide to insult cast members on their way out and so forth, and then that's when the altercation, I believe, takes place. If I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah, basically they said young people were in an argument at the France Pavilion with a woman who used a wheelchair. It was unclear what prompted the argument. Ada tried to physically fight the woman in the wheelchair because he felt disrespected and wanted to confront her, the rest report said. Disrespected. The altercation continued all the way to the land. Man, France to the land. That's a good hike.
Yeah.
That is a very good hike.
Dang.
The white males in the young adult group approached the handicapped woman in a wheelchair and began a verbal tirade directed at her in front of hundreds of guests. Once Disney security was made aware of the situation, once again, they intervened and contacted law enforcement. Wow.
Yeah.
Disney security manager later identified Chelsea Timmons and advised the woman in the wheelchair that her time at the park was done for the day and politely asked her to exit. She complied with the incident. So the lady in the wheelchair started it. That's what it looks like.
Wow.
Gee.
Wow.
Perhaps Chelsea then approached the group of young adults, which comprised of a white male, later determined as Dominique Ciro, I believe, and another white male, later identified as Mantanel Otta. Once Chelsea advised them that their day in the park was over and politely asked them to leave, Dominique became extremely irate and abusive towards Chelsea.
Angry. Oh, there's some bad words there. Anyway, they just spewed some bad words at the cast member or the Disney police. So, yeah.
Terrible.
That's crazy.
The N word in Italian. Let's not say that on YouTube.
In front of several guests and
saying
small
all
children,
kinds
by
of
the way.
things. Intoxicated.
There you go. Bingo.
Yeah.
There was a time where you couldn't get alcohol at Disney for
Great
this
times.
very reason.
I'm guessing Dominique started over there in Mexico and just
Yeah,
went
and
all
worked
the
his
way
way
over.
around.
Well, the money
And all
is
covered
worth
into
it.
France. Dang it.
Went all the way around. Wow. Yeah, they were arrested and wow.
Oh,
And they
she.
kept yelling at people. It's scary out on those theme park streets, I tell you. Scary. You never know what you're going to see. Ivan said he saw a fight, started a fight. I don't know. One of the two. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
You remember the Toontown Brawl?
That was the
Oh,
most
yeah.
famous one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Most famous one for sure. There was also the one at Magic Kingdom out there in front of what PhilharMagic, is that right? And,
Yep.
yeah,
That was
there's
the and then one day I left early from Magic Kingdom and a fight broke out the day I left early, and it was right in front, right when you first walk in and you see the train station and the
yeah.
flowers. They had a photographer there, and apparently somebody was mad at somebody else. This is before their day even started. Was mad at somebody else for cutting a line to get their photo, and a nasty bloody fight breaks out between two families. So they didn't even make it into the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So, and it was done. Anyway, Universal just dropped a brand new video about monsters and a whole new experience that you could get at Epic
Dark Universe.
It's gonna be Jay Kristen right there.
Yeah.
A
Jay's gonna be the
monster's
werewolf.
makeover to your day at Universal Epic Universe with the Dark Moon Monster Makeup Experience. Become Dracula, Frankenstein, and more. What's more? Book a face makeup experiment. Huh. The transformation will make up. The only problem I have with this is if you get this done and it's like August. Woo!
Too hot. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's probably
That's
looks
what it
scarier
is.
with all the paint coming down and look more horror like.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a hot day. All right, let's watch this video, shall we?
Please.
I wonder if you get like the costumes. Maybe
So
that's extra.
yes, you can get either just the face paint, or if you want to just do the costumes, you could do it to whatever tiers that they offer.
So
Holy
it's like
crap!
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but monsters and for adults. Which,
For
by the way,
everybody. Yeah.
yes, juxtapose that with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, for example, where they don't even let you wear a robe.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
They had to do that bounding, or what is it called when you kind of fake it?
Yes, Disney bounding, where you kind of
Yeah.
take on attributes of the characters and so forth, but don't actually dress like them. So this is definitely a big change right here. I think this is great.
Wait. You can come. Wait. It's called bounding.
Yes.
Yes.
So Jay, this is something I learned actually last year. I had no idea what it was until a lady came up to me and asked me if I was Disney bounding. And I said, "What is Disney bounding?" It was because I was wearing a purple skirt and a white top that she thought I was bounding as Daisy, like the colors. I'm like,
Okay, let me see.
oh no, I
See if I
don't
can
even know
get
what that
you-
means. But this is neat. This is great. I'm excited. I mean, people love cosplaying, and it's a great idea. I don't know why Disney doesn't allow it. It's kind of lame. Kudos
gonna-
to Universal for doing it.
Bounding. So I can wear a blue shirt and just say I identify as.
No, you just say you're
Stitch?
bounding a Stitch. Yeah, it's like a Disney adult
I
lingo thing.
I identify.
No, not that you
Can I-
identify.
Can
You're
I
just wearing
say
the
that that's
colors.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yes.
Like what? Like, did someone sit around a round table
There's
to say?
Disney adults, man.
There's whole TikTokers that make content just on that.
Dressing up,
Yeah.
bounding
They're
as
like-
Daisy today.
Today I'm in a yellow shirt, so I'm bounding as
Yes, you got it.
someone that wears yellow.
Here's an
Winnie the
example.
Pooh.
Oh my god. Okay, here we
They're
go.
gonna they're gonna make bank on this on Halloween season.
Yes,
Oh, there's an
That's-
example. So he's bounding as Mickey Mouse.
that's it.
Bounding is Mickey Mouse, and then you also have like Goofy right here. You can see this as a more prominent example. You can see how she's taking on the colors and certain attributes of the character, but not actually dressing up as them. So it's kind of and you see a lot of this with princesses and so forth. The Disney has a very strict policy. You cannot dress up as the characters, period, unless it's at kind of like a special event like Oogie Boogie Bash, for example, or Mickey's Not So Scary. Unless you're at those specific events, which do call for costumes, you cannot wear a costume in the park. That's very what is it? Antithetical to like, for example, Tokyo, where Tokyo people, they will cosplay
Yeah.
as the characters, let's say, as the characters on a regular and frequent basis. Not so at the domestic parks. And I believe it has something to do with they don't want people to necessarily be mistaken as as characters, like proper characters in the park. So you're also restricted as to like taking photos with other guests based on what you're actually wearing, and it's a little bit of a gray area regarding that whole thing. But for Universal to embrace dressing up as the monsters, for example, or selling Harry Potter robes and taking on those characters. I think it's really great for their merchandising line. I think a lot of people were upset. Ivan, maybe you can back me up here. When
Yeah.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge debuted, and they were like very adamant, you couldn't wear almost anything, even if
Oh,
you
no.
bought something there at the parks.
Yeah, I wanted to go on like a Jedi at some point, and I even wanted to do like a Rebel Trooper. And you just can't. You gotta do the bounding thing. So I gave up.
Let me give a huge shout out to Adam Krigler in the chat. What's up?
What's
What's up,
up?
Adam?
Hey.
Thanks for stopping
Adam.
by, brother.
Mm.
I appreciate you, man. I hope the family's well. And then I kind of think bounding is cool because it shows creativity. All right, I could see that. I can see what you're saying with that. And Sensei Paul
Hey.
What's
just
up?
dropped. Thanks for the 5, brother. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Adam says you need a mirror to read that. Oh, it already went by, so I missed it. I don't know why I would want a mirror. Says Jay's. I don't know, man. It's gonna take me too long. I can't read straight, You should react to cringe Disney bounding videos, says Aldo's Journal. I don't know if I want to see like I don't know.
Yeah.
Alasia says bounding is also a more comfortable way to cosplay. You're in comfy clothes, but also representing your favorite character. All right, I'm getting an education here on bounding. Keenan, what our first super chat of the day. Look at that. Krista is Canadian's gift to
Keenan.
America. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but thank you.
Thank you, Keenan. That's sweet.
Awesome.
Jay's
I like to
ears
think
are
so.
huge.
Oh,
Thanks. You don't know, are they?
no.
Are they big?
They're normal sized, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bounding as
Dumbo.
Dopey or something. Yeah. one of those things. You would think so the only thing that Disney has in compared with that, like you said, is bippity boppity boop, and that is for children that want to dress up as their favorite prince or princess.
Yes.
And they get like a complete like do-over makeover with that. You would think that in their Star Wars land, they would allow some sort of cosplay so people can take photos in front of the Millennium Falcon and other areas. But they think, I don't know why they think it's a bad idea. I guess because they don't want people taking pictures with them who are not workers thinking that it's a bad idea. So
I was there Friday for the first day of Season of the Force, and they had every character out. So it was the first day of Luke. They had Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Rey, Chewbacca, the troopers. So they're catching up. They're catching up to like making it feel, and I think that they're seeing what Universal's doing with Epic and everything. They're probably like, we need to catch up, make it more feel alive.
they got to do something. Spirian also get that's 510. We got 15 new members here for the channel during this live stream. Every time I go to like one of the parks, I bound as comfortable man. So yeah, that's my character.
Comfortable man.
He's around there somewhere. We had a video about the Force coming out soon, right, Ivan?
Yeah, tomorrow. It should be good tonight. We got the Season of the Force, so we'll see. I mean, I think it's personally, I think it's a bit late for Luke. It's almost 6 years. It's almost 6 years, and I do have some criticism. I didn't really say too much in the vlog, but I think they probably should have gotten an actor that's a bit older, maybe with more gravitas.
Yeah.
Because Luke's story at that point, he went through a lot, and the guy that they got looks like it's farm boy Luke, not Luke that went through that arc. So it's there's room for improvement.
Especially with that wig there.
Yeah.
That's wild. Speaking of Star Wars, I guess we can get this out of the way. Disneyland. I'm assuming this could come to Disney World, but who knows? Over there in California, has released their Star Wars Hoth apparel collection
What?
coming for Star Wars Day. And the Disney Star Wars Day, of course, is May the 4th be with you. So May 4th. And they have these 3 things from Hoth. They're going back to the classics, I guess, to try to sell some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
The Hoth, I guess you'd call that what, a baseball jersey? It says Echo Base. They have the lounge fly bag and the ears. So any excitement for anything?
Well, I think Cast Connections is really excited to get more merch, I suppose.
Here's the thing. At Disney Springs, which is free to go, free to attend, they have one of the largest Disney stores in America. It's one of them. It's not the, but it's pretty massive. The sad reality is that they used to have a Star Wars section. And last time I was there with Krista, it was like I went to find it to see what was out, and they have moved the section now to nothing more than one shelf.
Yeah.
And that's all they have and listen, this store is massive. You can get anything at this store, from salt and pepper shakers to whatever ear is available to Lego. I mean, everything is there in that World of Disney store at Disney Springs. Even the Marvel section is pretty big, but Star Wars is now whittled down. Like I said, they used to have their own little section where they had shirts, ears, bags, cups, this, that, and everything. It is whittled down to a shelf right in the middle of the walkway. So they try to put it in an area where people will see it when you walk, right where traffic is. And they just had some action figures and like little things, nothing like nothing serious. So
to play devil's advocate or Sith advocate, not sure.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility that they have moved a lot of the merch out of that Walt Disney store in Disney Springs to the actual Star Wars store in Disney Springs? Is that a possibility? Or
so here's what happened. They used to have a Star Wars. They used to have a Galaxy's Edge store in Disney Springs, and that has been closed down. And what they did with that, and that was its own little Star Wars store, and you can get anything that was in Galaxy's Edge, you could get there. And that closed down, and they changed that to here's where you can meet Santa Claus. So it's like here's where you can meet Santa Claus.
Oh
store.
yeah.
Nothing of Star Wars anymore. The other Star Wars store, which is connected to Marvel, has been shrunk down to it's a one-door shop now, which means it's one of the smaller stores on the other side of Disney Springs. And maybe they moved everything there because that's where it has to be. But it used to be 3. You can get it at the World of Disney. You can walk to the other end of Disney Springs, get it at the Star Wars store, or you could go to the Galaxy's Edge store and get it there. And now Star Wars is just whittled down to one little place if you want anything. And the last time I was there, they were selling Mara Jade action figures. Go figure.
Yep.
So, and I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Mara Jade action figure. They like trying anything and everything now to try to. The biggest problem I have with this stuff right here, other than the lounge fly, which I don't own any, but I'm just talking quality. A lot of the Star Wars shirts and even the Marvel shirts that me and Krista see, I could look at it and tell, like, like the shirt I have on now, this Geeks and Gamers, right? This is definitely a print of the logo, but it feels like the stuff, I can't explain it. I don't know what it's called. Maybe someone can help me out. Whatever print they put on those shirts, it's the kind of print that if you wash it once or twice, it cracks.
Yeah, it starts to peel.
It'll peel. Right. It'll peel. And it's like, you can look at it and they're like throwing like $50
Mhm.
on there, and you're like, why would I pay that? After one wash, it's all gonna like rip off. So it's like
Yeah.
it's really weird. Ash wanted me to share this. Yeah, that's some weird Star Wars
So,
merch.
Daddy.
Too.
yeah, this is at Star
Daddy.
Traders Disneyland, and I wanted to add to what you said, Jay,
Yeah.
and that the gift shop when you exit Star Tours at Disneyland, which is called Star Traders. I don't know if it's called Star. You have that at Magic Kingdom, but that used to be all Star Wars. Maybe they had a tiny section which is just a tiny section which is Disney generic gear. But now half of Star Traders is not Star Wars. It's all like just regular Disney stuff and other IPs, and it's like they can't come up with any. They have a IP where they can come up with almost anything and a bunch of stuff, and they're not like doing it. I don't know. It's not selling, and it
Oh,
was really,
it's not selling. There's
yeah.
no way it's selling.
So the same thing is happening over here.
What you're seeing on screen right now is the Daddy Darth Vader tee and more new Star Wars Her Universe. That's actually Eckstein or the voice of
Yeah.
Ahsoka for Rebels and Clone Wars merch at Disneyland First Season of the Force. This caught, I think, the entire panel when we covered it in that Barclays by surprise because it was like, Daddy. I'm not
that's
sure if
weird.
I would have gone with that. It's a little bit strange. I think it's all indicative of a company who really doesn't know their audience. I think it's to broaden this
Correct.
out just a little bit. I mean, Disney's Hollywood Studios used to have an incredible Star Wars presence with Star Wars weekends before Disney ever bought the brand. And then once Disney actually acquired Star Wars, that all changed. And I think a series of executives who thought they knew best have taken control. And this is why we're getting merchandise that's not necessarily that great. Ivan, you brought up Luke Skywalker, how it's a little bit late to incorporate him into the land. I think that's actually true. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I think, missed on several targets there. And so when you see something like this, something maybe
Keep
unthinkable.
talking because I want to show you something. I'll
Please.
be 1 second.
When you see something like this, in which, you know, something unthinkable 15 years ago pops up into the parks, well, it's not necessarily surprising anymore because they just missed on all of this for so long.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, there's just the design of what we're seeing here. It's really weird. And
Yeah,
kind of
I think
questionable.
you're absolutely right. It's like, how do you know your fan base when none of this says Star Wars? It's just very odd. I see you, Raider, dropping a nuke in the chat.
Hey.
But
Whoa.
this is let me just show you this. This is 9line. All right, hold on. This is 9line Apparel's parody Star Wars shirts that they have.
Mhm.
So
It's so cool.
yeah, it's like a little more like, yeah, that's the Star Wars that I like. That's the Darth Vader shirt I love. That's why I have
Those are
this
awesome.
one. So, you know, and it's they can get away with that because it's under the parody law, stuff like that. But it's like they know the Star Wars audience better than
That's
Disney
crazy.
themselves. And holy crap. Hold on. Before that, Mr. T says, in my opinion, the jersey looks like a ripoff from the LA Dodgers. Maybe that's what they were trying to go for.
Probably.
Yeah.
Simply because
Anaheim.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
locals. Locals will buy it.
and if that's the only way they could sell that stuff is because they have to rip off a sports franchise. Come on, man. And Raider with the 54.
Raider.
50. He dropped that on the 54th second on the 53rd consecutive millisecond that I had. I don't know where I was going with that. But holy crap, Raider, thank you for the generous donation. And everybody else that did the same thing as well. Holy crap. Appreciate that, man. Well, let's get into some good news.
Yay.
This is Chris. This is going back to Universal.
Yay.
This is probably this got me extremely excited because if you haven't seen this show, This
Oh,
drone
yeah.
show and this
Mhm.
light show fireworks show that Universal does with the classic stuff, Back to the Future, Jaws, as you can see, Transformers. Well, you can't see Transformers, but this is all done by drones. Basically, I can see this from my house. It's pretty awesome.
Wow.
And they're bringing it back in April and May. And you might not remember, but on Park Hoppin', we were live when this first aired. And I was holding up this camera. It was really hot that day while we were trying to get the drone show. So it's on Park Hoppin'. And all of a sudden, Chris is standing next to me. We're in the grassy field. I know she probably don't even remember.
I
Standing
do.
next to me. And like, there's a lot of people. And I'm tall. So I'm like, I got this big arm up. You know, I'm trying to be respectful for people. We tried to find a place. There was a giant rock anyway where people weren't behind me because I didn't want to, like, you know, be that guy. And all of a sudden, like, the water goes up and it gets like the music goes down. And all of a sudden you hear peaches, peaches, peaches. And I thought Chris was going to, like, I was like, she's going to start doing cartwheels. She's like, oh my God. I was like, it was all in the...
Of course I remember that. You kidding me?
She was so excited.
That was the best part.
She left me.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sorry.
telling you now, if you have not seen this, it is
Worth
worth
it.
it. It is fireworks, it is drones, and it is
Mhm.
all the IPs that you love. The thing that I like the most is that they use all like the cool songs. And they're also bringing this back, which is, this thing is freaking awesome. I don't think Chris has seen this yet, and I'm gonna go back and get a video of this parade.
Yeah,
This
I haven't seen
parade
it.
is fantastic. It is my favorite, maybe because, and here we're gonna show a little bit
The
of it.
Jaws float is amazing.
Just because
Every float is.
it brings back all like the old stuff that we love. So I'll speed it up a little bit. Yep, gay dancers. That's what I meant to pause it on, but there we go. Let's get to the floats. It's not a very long parade, but it's long enough. So here's the Back to the Future, and they have dancers. It's not. I'm not doing myself any service here. Oh, there we go. Wanted to get to the float. Doc Brown looks a little sus, but that's okay. The music is playing like super loud, and I think it's awesome.
It's cool because it's bringing back some of the classics.
I
think
freaking love it.
This is absolutely awesome. The Mega Movie Parade and the CineSational water show right here, or Nighttime Spectacular, whatever nomenclature you want to use. I think they're awesome additions. And I theorize that they were spending as much money as they were and really plussing the show with as many performers as they were. I think this is like has the most performers of any parade in Central Florida or something like that. I remember maybe that headline being part of this parade during its initial run last year. My suspicion was that this was going to be the counter programming that they were going to offer at Universal Studios Florida specifically for the opening of Epic Universe, and it looks like that was a sound assumption there. These other parks are going to need attractions of their own to pull in people, and what better way than to add entertainment offerings on a big scale. This is a great idea by Universal and very well done, as the reviews were outlined as part of its initial run.
Yeah.
I hate to bring up like the Star Wars land, but you don't hear any Star Wars music in Star Wars land. It's like here you hear all the awesome theme songs, and if you're a fan of Jaws, maybe I missed it on this. Maybe they didn't have it out. This is the
I guess
ET.
at the endish.
So they have like the ET, and they're playing the ET stuff. Oh yeah, this is what I want to show. Yeah, this is the end. So for Jaws, if you love the movie, they bring out the mayor and Chief Brody.
Oh wow!
And they freaking go into the stands and argue about, he's like, no, we're going to open the beaches. You'll be safe. And Chief Brody's like, don't go in the water. It's freaking awesome. And they just run up to everyone that's holding a camera. And then they bring out the Amity, like the high school band that was playing in the first movie. And they're playing the exact same song that's in the movie, like the band was playing. It's just freaking cool. So like, when I first watched that, I was like, wait, I know that. Like, That's the exact same thing that they were playing in the original film.
Wow.
And to have like
Oh.
an actor, you know, be Chief Brody and all that, come out and like argue about the beaches, and then they drop the float with
Wow.
freaking Quint on there and the shark, and they're playing like the music. Oh, dude, it's so good, man.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good. I was just like grinning from ear to ear because
So
it's
the-
like Jaws was one of my favorite attractions at Universal. I was sad to see it go, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Harry Potter, you know, it's a little more popular than Jaws. You know, I totally get it. But the fact that they brought it back with like respect, you know what I mean? Like they didn't change it or anything. Like they and they made these type of floats with the music and everything. I thought it was fantastic. So anyway, I'm really excited about that. Like really excited that it's coming back. I want to see it again.
The detail's amazing, and I even heard that for the Jurassic section, they got a float from one of the Universal Asian parks. They added a float from one of their parks onto this parade.
Did I skip the? I don't think Jurassic was
I
in
think
this
it's the
video.
final one.
It's
You're
at
right
the
there.
end.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't
Yeah.
continue.
I don't know if they have it in this video, but they added a raptor pen float, which they didn't have. I'm not sure if it's in this one, but that is an addition.
They did add as this went on. Go ahead.
No, just wanted to say that over here at Universal Hollywood in the summer, they're looking to hire actors to play Quint and Chief Brody for some type of event that they haven't confirmed yet. So something's going on this summer at Universal Hollywood, but they're already saying that they're looking for some Jaws characters for something here. So it's not even Fan Fest. It's something else.
Is that your raptor right there?
Looks like the raptor pen is right back there.
Oh, there it is.
The little baby raptor.
This is so awesome, and here's the thing. I love how you brought up Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, because it's like, how do you use a legendary brand in the form of something like Star Wars and not use any of the most memorable aspects of it for your big themed land when, you know, just years prior with Star Wars Weekends, you were doing it on a huge, massive scale there on a regular, ongoing basis. I don't understand the mentality of the Walt Disney Company when it comes to Star Wars. But Universal understands what people want. They understand how to best leverage their brands and implement them in such a way that they most resonate with audiences. The band thing for Jaws, I didn't even know about that. That is awesome. And
Yeah.
that's just
It is, man.
people
It's
who
so,
are well in tune.
It's a
Yeah.
great detail.
it's so good. Yeah, and it's the same costume that the mayor was wearing with the little anchors and stuff from the movie. So anyway. So that's coming back, and I'm excited. Like I will be there when I'll get this for park hopping, because I was getting ready to film it. I went twice and it was canceled, one due to weather, and then the second time, I don't know why. I think I got there a little too late. But because this parade is actually a little earlier. What they did before was a little earlier in the day, and then they once it was done, they got set up for the drone show, so which I thought was pretty awesome. The only thing that Universal is lacking, I think, when it comes to the drone and fireworks show, is where people can sit and stand. So that's the only thing that. What do you think, Krista? You've seen it.
Well, we were able to stay at the annual pass holder area, so I can't
Yeah.
imagine those who don't have that option and they get really bad seating where they need to stand, or not seating, but you know what I mean, where
Yeah.
they have to be standing. Well, the way I see it, I guess, is I think Epic Universe, you know, that park is designed for fireworks and
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. So I think they got it all planned out for that park, because the parks, you know, at Islands and Universal, it's not really designed for fireworks or any of that. So I think people are going to want to see that sort of stuff at Epic, and maybe it will make some room for those at Islands to see it, or Universal, wherever it is from.
Oh, it's gonna be exciting. Our last topic of the day. Vosh has the article already. Look at him. What a good host. Look at this. Disney World begins piloting return of the resort airline check-in service. Now, what if people are tuning in and they have no idea what this is? What was the airline check-in service?
The resort airline check-in is where guests were able to check in their bags at their Disney resort, and the bags would magically appear when they arrived at their destination airport back home. So it was kind of the opposite of Magical Express's service, where you arrive at the airport, check in your bags, and they would magically end up in your room, which was a pretty cool service right there. This is kind of the departure side of that whole equation right there. And I think in this article goes into some very interesting aspects of its return. For example, they note that it's being that the service is being performed by, I think, Bags, which is the associated service that used to do this type of resort airline check-in before. It's only for Pop Century. It's a very limited kind of run for this. But Blog Mickey here, apparently they suspect that Value Resorts will be added in April, and this program, I believe, will grow out from there. It's only for Southwest Airlines, so that's another notable feature about this as well. It's a very limited run and everything like that. I think the bigger news about this, though, is this is a reversal of maybe the Chapek era, kind of the post-2020 era of the Disney bubble. Right, because the Disney bubble used to encompass many things. It wasn't just checking in your bags, but it was also Magical Express, right? And there was a range of services associated with that. You'll remember that I believe in just before the fall of 2020, Disney pretty much did away with all of these services almost simultaneously all at once, which was really sad to see. And I think a lot of people and their the ideas that they had of the Disney bubble and that experience really were shaped and affected by this one specific change. So to bring some of these services back with Epic Universe coming online, what we're now a couple months away from that, I think is a big deal and speaks to maybe Disney rethinking the Disney bubble mindset that they had for the last 5 years.
I wonder if so basically when you're done with your vacation, you turn your bags in at the resort, and then you go to the airport. And you get on your plane, and you don't worry about it until So it's the reversal. Right. According to Scott Gutson, he said that it's exactly what you said. It's only for Pop Century, which is one of the value resorts, and it's only for Southwest Airlines. I wonder if Disney's going to be working on like a special package where it's like, book your trip with Southwest Airline, and then you get the special bag treatment. Because if you're probably staying at the Grand Floridian, you probably aren't flying Southwest. Like maybe you're doing something else. I don't know.
That's a good point.
But so it's I don't know. But it the Magical School Bus, whatever you want to call it, was a pretty awesome
Magical
thing that
Express.
they had, though. Yeah, the Magical Express. What's up, Hypnotic? I see you, man. It was a really cool experience where you got picked up, you got checked in, and like there's all your stuff. So it's like it's pretty sad that that's gone.
Now, I've talked to a resort expert. He's been in the industry for many years, as a noteworthy executive within that industry. And they were telling me, look, listen, Magical Express in this day and age may have not been sustainable, which is why they actually did away with the program. I kind of argue, though, that for the costs associated with it and so forth, I think it's absolutely worth it, because if people are forced to purchase a rental car in order to get to their resort, then that's a rental car that they have to explore other areas of Central Florida. And I think Disney tried to manage that by implementing a parking fee associated with staying on property. Now that fee has been done away with. So in the era of Epic Universe and really the Central Florida area really coming online for that specific product, I think it behooves Disney to want to capture that audience a little bit more than they had been recently. So I think this is actually a good move, and hopefully we can get the restoration of some of these services. I mean, the Magical Express, the little section at the airport, the Orlando International Airport.
MCO.
MCO, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That terminal, like the Magical Express little terminal, is still there. It's just abandoned. So it's like, could we get that possibly back on? Could we get people whisked away via Magical Express back to their resorts? And I mean, I know when I visited, I think August of 2023, my feeling was if Magical Express was still there, then that trip would have probably played a bit differently, in that I wouldn't have maybe rented a car at that time, and perhaps things would have been more simplistic.
Yeah,
and
it's just
cohesive.
adding a lot. I didn't mean to cut you. I'm sorry. I thought you were.
No, please.
It's just adding like so much more stress to the family vacation
Right.
than they need to. But I don't mean to cut you guys. We got breaking news. We got breaking news that just happened.
What?
Well, I don't know how breaking it is, but
I thought it was that.
it's kind of that Universal just posted this 25 minutes ago. I just now saw it. The National Epic Universe Portal Tour is coming to selected cities, bringing a glimpse of the amazing new theme park coming to Universal Resorts. So let's take a little watch. So they're gonna go on tour promoting this theme park. Here we go. All right, it's just a commercial. I thought he was going to say something. Join us on the National Epic Universe Portal Tour.
Oh, okay.
Soon. April.
Chicago.
Oh, wait. Yeah, soon.
So look at the cities represented here.
Yeah.
That
Atlanta,
really shows where Universal thinks that they can target, and where most of their visitation they think is maybe going to come from right there. I know Philadelphia is a big, I think it's like number 1 or number 2 for Walt Disney World. So that's huge right there.
Wow.
They're going to do a 2-day presentation in these cities to convince people to spend your money at Universal's Epic Universe and Universal Studios, and try to convince families not to go to Disney or anywhere else at that. That's crazy.
Wow, they're really going
has
for the
Disney done this? I have never really seen or heard of something like this before.
So Disney used to do stuff like this when they would launch a big time theme park, but they haven't done something like this in a while. I remember when the Electrical Parade used to go on tour, and I think it was part of a Super Bowl halftime at one point, in order to get the word out about some of those experiences. So it's not necessarily completely unfounded in terms of revolutionary in this idea here, but I think it's really cool. They're really going at it, and they're going after Disney's major markets, like I said before. Pennsylvania, that's a huge place for them. Atlanta, Georgia, New York, these are some big time markets for Disney, so they're going right at them.
I wonder what they're gonna bring. If they're gonna bring that, I'd love to see what they're doing. 30-foot tall Kronos, a replica of the iconic Universal Epic Universe Gateway that guests will enter to experience the theme park's 5 incredible immersive worlds. So they're going to have a giant portal where
30
people
feet
can go. That's crazy, man.
I want that in my house.
You'll get a chance to take a photo besides the portal and can visit the structure at night for awe-inspiring shows.
Jay wants one too. The portal to the bathroom.
It's like that teleportation.
Hang on. Come on. Do you think that they'll take the model on tour from the preview center?
I would assume, right?
Right.
I mean, what else? I would assume they would take that on tour and some of the merch, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the preview center that we have in Orlando is, they've got the big backdrops for every world. I don't see why they couldn't bring that with them. Oh, they're going to hand out all kinds of pamphlets and stuff and have people saying like, hey, here's where you need to go. And without them opening it up to, at least not now, like an annual pass for at least the first year, they're going to have a lot more room to work with, I think. I'm an annual pass holder. It's easier for me just to, like I could go and pick up Krista and we can go to Universal right now, when the stream is over and just hang out and eat there and like ride a ride or two and then leave. And we're very spoiled that we get to do that, but we can't do that with Epic Universe. So if we want to go, we had to buy a ticket and do all that stuff for at least the first year. So it's gonna be why I just wonder. I wonder how much money theme park vloggers and others are gonna spend to constantly be in that park to do that. So I guess it all depends on the views on whatever they get, because it can add up. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it can add up. But
you don't think they'll try to maybe do something for Florida residents? Maybe at least like maybe I don't know. That's so weird.
I think they should, but again, it all depends. I guess they'll wait and see how many tickets they.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and I could be wrong. I
Might
think
come out sooner than later.
I think if they're selling out constantly, then they won't. But if they are not, and they want more people and more tickets, they'll probably open it up to a 3-day pass, a Florida resident pass, a this pass, and all that stuff. So I just wonder what the annual pass for that would be. It's probably going to be a lot.
$1 million.
There you go.
The initial, I think, projections for Epic Universe, I think, are 10 million in the first year. There's only 2 parks that have ever achieved that in their first year of operation, that being Magic Kingdom and Epcot. So, and the bookings for the area of Central Florida aren't necessarily like massively higher than they have been historically. Definitely get some cannibalization from the other parks around the area, that being Disney, SeaWorld, and all that, in order for people to visit Epic Universe. I think the max capacity for that park is probably anywhere between 30 to 35,000, something like that. So that's why they've kind of introduced these things in such a way that, restricts, let's say, access to these parks. But again, I think that initial demand will drop off, and when that kind of starts to wane there, I think that's when they'll launch a lot of the Florida resident discount tickets or offers and annual passes and so forth.
So before we end the stream, what me and Krista heard from someone there, and who knows how true this is that the first year they're trying to limit the number of people, so that they have a fabulous experience and that they'll want to be returned. Like, it's like, because the park is so big, you don't want to pay all that money to go there, and then you can only ride 2 rides because it's so packed when you want to see everything. So they want the initial, however long they plan on doing this, to limit the number so that they can do everything, and they can be like, you guys got to go to forget that Magic House, man. You guys got to go here. It was the greatest thing ever. And then they'll slowly start to increase the number of people. So it's going to be interesting to see. But anyway, that's it for our Park Hopping live stream. Vosh, thanks for joining us. Where can people find you?
People can find me at That Park Place, where we do Magic Mornings every single Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, I believe. Yes, it's hard to know with the time zone adjustment there. But after the pro show, which That Park Place streams right into, well, that's where T3PO Live will come in with, I
try to hop on when I can.
Oh, yes. He joins us every once in a while, and he is amazing on that show. And usually we take a lot of these topics that we featured here, maybe some others from around the internet and maybe around the globe when it comes to theme parks worldwide, and incorporate them into that show. That show is T3PO Live on That Pod Place, the YouTube channel, at 3 p.m. Eastern, following the pro show. If you're already watching that, just watch on in, and we'll get you on in there.
It's a
Very
great
cool
show.
stuff. Thank you so much for having me on, Jay.
Oh no, yeah, you're welcome every single Monday. And Ivan, what about you, my friend?
Stay tuned to season of the 4 Star Wars vlog here on Park Hoppin'. And you can find me on YouTube, Valientes, and then on Instagram, Valiant Studios.
And Krissa, what do you have going on other than Nintendo Switch 2 stuff?
Well, I was just about to say, busy week for me. Nintendo Direct 2 drops. Well, Nintendo Switch 2 Direct drops. Also, me and Jay have something big planned this week. So stay tuned for Park Hoppin' to find out what that is.
We got something epic happening this week.
Oh.
So that's pretty much all we can say at the moment. But yes, Can-Man, the mods, everyone else, super chatters, people being here, people that hit the like button and the downvote button, everything. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. I just see Can-Man dropping all the links. So we appreciate all you guys. Thanks for making another amazing Park Hoppin' Live. We'll see you next Monday with the panel. That's it.